So we have the energy team here on campus, which truly consists of everybody on campus, including our utilities and energy management group. But some of our forerunners in that group are our energy specialists who are out on the campus working in every building that we have. They also work very closely with our Delta Center, which is a 24/7, 365 operations center, so we're able to monitor hundreds and hundreds of thousands of points on campus, including air handlers, temperatures, lighting, even down, as they like to say, to the urinals at the stadium on how those are operating. So because we're paying so much attention to what's going on campus, we're able to really optimize our usage of energy. A few years ago, we started our greenhouse gas emissions reduction plan. We are now in our third year of active operation of that plan. The overall goal is to reduce our campus emissions by 25% below 2010 levels by 2025, and so as 3 years into that, we're doing really well. We're right on target. We are actually about to start thinking about how we're going to act in our last 4 years, our second phase. So we're thinking about, what sort of large scale things can we do on our campus to really drive us to that 25% over the next few years. One of the cool things that everybody would have the opportunity to see is some of our lighting projects that we've been doing. So we recently redid what I call common area lights in the Patterson office tower. So if you go to any of the floors and walk through the hallways, you may notice that there are occupancy sensors now on these LED lights in the hallways. And so the building was constructed in the late 60s. There are no light switches in the hallways. So essentially those lights have been running 24/7 since the late 60s. Sometimes outages happen and things, but it's crazy to think that those lights have always been on. But now, as of this year, we're able to have those turn off when there's nobody in the space, and so you're really able to save a lot of energy that nobody even notices because they're not there. So sustainability is very multifaceted. You can think about it from a socioeconomic perspective. You can think about it from natural resources, and energy touches so many of the facets of sustainability. Resource management is huge. You think about where does our energy come from, and you start working backwards to how does the coal get here, how does the electricity get produced. All of that is due to pulling something out of the earth, or in some cases, using solar panels. We are not able to use very many solar panels here in Kentucky, but all of that energy has to come from somewhere. And so oftentimes those resources are not quickly reproducible. So you think about fossil fuels and so forth. The central Kentucky area is very heavily reliant on fossil fuels, and so everything we can do to reduce even 1 kilowatt hour is reducing our dependence and our need to use another resource that cannot be easily created again. And then on the flip side of that, after you use that resource, you also have your emissions that are associated with it, which is what our greenhouse gas emissions reduction plan is working to do, is to reduce what we're emitting into the environment as far as you think about the CO2 footprint or your emissions, or you hear greenhouse gases, all of those terms come together. We have to be very conscious of what we're doing to our environment around us because we've only got one of them. We have to be able to live in this environment. As far as what I would say that the general public or even those in our community on campus should understand about energy is educate yourself. So if you go to saveenergy.uky.edu, there's a catalog of options for you to look at, some suggestions on how you can be more efficient with your usage, whether you're a student or faculty or staff. You wouldn't have to look very far on the internet to find other tips for how to make your own home more efficient. So from changing to LED bulbs to changing your thermostat so you're able to control the temperatures in your home when you're not there. There are so many things in our technological world that you can do to be more efficient in your own home.
This project is proudly funded by the Tracy Farmer Institute for Sustainability and the Environment and the Office of Sustainability.